Meet Serena, your virtual companion for emotional support. The ultimate safe space to discuss your thoughts, your fears, and the ups and downs of daily life. Start your free trial today at serena.chat.
Would I be the asshole if I do not return to help my brother's struggling company? I, 28F, worked for my brother, 42, for a few years and enjoyed my time overall. However, as it is a small company, it's somewhat lacking in resources, so I've had to undertake multiple roles outside my job description. Also, due to my relation with my brother in the company, I felt that a lot of people saw me as the boss's sister and didn't consider me as someone with good ethic. In all likelihood, my feelings at the time did not match with what people may have actually thought of me. I also didn't like the idea of mixing work with family life. Around beginning of 2022, I decided to leave the company as I wanted to develop my skills. My entire family, including mum, 69F, and sister, 49F, got involved in the drama that ensued and convinced me to stay due to his company is struggling, but I didn't believe them as I thought they were manipulating me to stay. Long story short, I ended up choosing to leave and started at a bigger company where I ended up learning a lot. The company is a competitor to my brother's, so you can see where our relationship became super strained. Meanwhile, my brother's company had slowly been losing employees to more competitive companies, and he recently let go of a few employees that were underperforming. It was already a small company comprising of a modest amount of employees, but within a span of a year, that amount of employees no longer reached 2 digits. To make things even harder for him, my other brother, 33M, had been working for him for over a decade and left recently this year for other completely unrelated pursuits. This week, my brother, 42, called me all of a sudden saying that mum told him I wanted to return to his firm. I told him truthfully that I didn't say that, and we shortly ended the call. I find out that my mum and sister recently met with him, who spoke about his struggles with the company and maybe transferring the company to a new owner. My mum implied that at the time I was in between companies I was thinking of going back, but she had asked me recently if I would return and I said no. So, she basically took my words from somewhere last year, making him think that I wanted to return. I'm torn because I now think he is truly struggling. When I recently reached out to a senior colleague at the firm to wish him happy birthday, he began to say that I should come back. It appears lighthearted in text, but I'm pretty sure he's serious. Last year when I wanted to leave and when I asked him if I should leave, he said he didn't know. For him to now say that I should come back, well, you can guess that the company really be struggling to stay afloat. At the same time, I don't want to return and then leave again, which would upset him again because he always had this goal of me building the business with him. So would I be the asshole if I ended up staying at the company I am working for despite my brother's company's struggles? Edit. I may have left a lot of context because a lot of things appear to be complicated, so I'll add some things. I come from an Asian background, so reputation, saving face is a really big thing. I started at the company with my brother reluctant to take me on as I had a brief stint there around 10 years ago and I was really bad, like no common sense bad. He took me on in the end because my mum influenced him to do so, so in a way, he may feel like I'm not there for him when he needed help because he helped me when I needed it. Heard through family that he will not sell the company if I return, so it makes me think that the reason his company continued for so long is because of my other brother that worked there for over 10 years. No WIBTA. You have listed many reasons to go and stay away. You have not listed any to go back that seem to be of an actual benefit to you. You owe no loyalty to the family business. Not the asshole. No one jumped on the Titanic after it struck the iceberg, did they? You weren't being fulfilled and you left. It's on your brother to have not gotten you to sign a non-compete agreement that would have prevented you from working for a direct competitor for a certain amount of time. He didn't, and you were able to put your skills to good use at a company who appreciated them. Not everyone was meant to run a company. He can't expect you to sacrifice for his wants. You are not required to give up your financial security. He isn't paying you as much because he's struggling and smaller, regardless of if you admit to it or not. And your benefits package. If you're in the US, your insurance is better at the larger company, as is your matching 401k and other benefits. So fix your brother's dream. It's his job to hire the correct people to fulfill his dream. You didn't give birth to him. He isn't your responsibility. With that said, maybe you could help him out, assuming it's not against your contract, by consulting or working there in the evening or something. I don't know, but I do know NTA. It all comes down to, what do you get out of it? He gets to use your skills, time, abilities to make his company more successful. What do you get? The compensation better be at least as good as what you have now, will it? Benefits any better? What is important to you? Perhaps a contract should be drawn up, giving you a percentage of the profits as the company improves due to your labor? How is it worth it to you, other than just helping family? Am I the asshole for expecting my kid to be named as a beneficiary? I, 40 female, have a 2-year-old little girl with my 37-year-old boyfriend. We have been together for 4 years. Together we have 6 kids. I was the sole provider for my 3 kids before I got pregnant. When I had her, we decided that I would stay home and take care of our baby at least till she is old enough to be able to tell us if she was ever hurt or mistreated. Yesterday I was cleaning and found a piece of paper that was folded up and tucked away in a drawer. I opened it up and saw that it was a life insurance policy. I couldn't believe my boyfriend had life insurance. A few months ago when he bought a street bike, I had asked him about getting life insurance and he told me there ain't no way he was gonna get life insurance because it was a jinx. I was so mad. I told him if he was going to be riding at speeds over 150 mph and risk his life, then he should at least make sure his daughter will be okay. What's even more messed up is before he bought the bike he agreed that he would get life insurance just to be safe. The second he got the bike home he changed his mind and said no. So fast forward to me finding the insurance paper. My boyfriend has 3 kids all under 8. Tell me why the sole beneficiary on the life insurance is his son from his previous marriage? It says his son is to get 100% of benefits. He didn't name our daughter, he didn't split it up. It all goes to his son. I was so pissed when I saw this that I wanted to take a bat to his stupid street bike. I am so angry and hurt and feel betrayed. After crying for most of the day he came home from work and we were sitting down for dinner. I confronted him, I said, "Do you have a life insurance policy through your work?" It took him a few long seconds to respond. And he said, "What are you talking about? No. I don't have life insurance." I knew he was gonna lie to me. I said, "Really? 'Cause I found a paper that you signed and filled out and your son is the sole beneficiary." I could tell he was getting mad. He started yelling at me, and telling me I was stupid and didn't know what I was talking about. He then said that I found an old policy and he changed it. I asked him when he changed it and he said he didn't know. I said, "Well, that's really weird 'cause the date on the paper I found was for 6 months ago. Seems like you would remember if it was not that long ago." He started yelling at me for going through his things. And said if I go through his stuff again he was gonna leave me. Am I the asshole for going through his things? It's my house, and I feel like it's fair game. How can a man who has more children only leave his benefits to one child? He got this job 2 years ago. After his daughter was born. It's not an old policy that he hasn't updated. Why would you choose the kid that would already be financially secure if something happened to himself? His ex-wife has a good job, and a new husband. If he was to pass tomorrow, our daughter would be the one to suffer the most. He doesn't want me to work. He's the only provider in our home. So I guess none of that matters or means anything to him. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave him after finding this paper? I want to throw him his kids and all his stuff out my house. If he loves his boys more than he loves his daughter, then I don't want to be with him. He may be legally required to have life insurance by court order as part of the divorce child support decree. He's not legally required to lie to you about it or refuse to provide for your daughter or demand that you not work for years. Not to be mean, but this is why marriage is beneficial before having kids with someone. If he dies, you get nothing. If he becomes disabled, you have no right to even talk to a doctor, never mind apply for disability benefits. If he leaves, you can't request alimony to make up for you not working for years. To me, the refusal to provide for you and his daughter would be an absolute deal-breaker. The lie and double standard just twists the knife. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He is trying to deflect and make all of this about your going through his things. If he wants to discuss that, it's a separate conversation. But the topic at hand is his policy beneficiary. Not the asshole. This sounds like a terribly toxic relationship. Please don't have any more children. You're not the asshole, you are TA for using an instead of and though. It's breaking my small brain. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole because I told my sister's boyfriend he isn't a member of our family? My 21M sister, 17F, has this boyfriend who is always around. He acts like he lives here. They've been dating for 2 years, so he's gotten really comfortable with our family and our house. My little brother, 14, is sick right now, and it has been really stressful. When I'm not at school, I'm either at the hospital with my 14-year-old brother or at home watching my 8-year-old brother. It has been a lot. This morning I was in the kitchen making food to bring to my parents at the hospital, when who should walk in? My sister's boyfriend. He asked me if I wanted help cooking, and I said no, he doesn't even know how to cook. He then proceeded to just stand there in the kitchen, getting in my way. I asked what he was doing, and he said he was waiting for me to be done. I asked why, and he said he was going to make something. I told him that maybe he should go to his house and use his kitchen then. He said he wasn't trying to bother me. I said that he is bothering me, and I'm sick of him always being here invading our space. I can't even relax in my own home the rare moments I get to myself because he's always here. He said I wasn't being fair, and that he's scared for my brother too, and I shouldn't take it out on him. I told him to shut up, that he has no idea what he's talking about and to go home. Then he said it's important to stick together when there's a tragedy. I said yeah, families stick together, but he isn't a member of our family, so let us have a day or two a week to ourselves and leave us alone once in a while. Then he left. My sister was pissed when she came down 20 minutes later. She said I'm a mean, bitter douchebag. She said I had no right to say that to her boyfriend, and he's her guest, so he can come over whenever he wants. I didn't want to fight with her, so I just said fine. Was I really being a douchebag though? Why is this guy always here? Update. Thank you for all the advice everyone. I did end up talking to my dad. He came home and spoke to my sister's boyfriend. He told the boyfriend he needs to not come over before 11 in the morning or be here after 7 at night. He also told the boyfriend he can't use our kitchen or let himself into the house. He needs to knock and be let in, and when he is hungry he needs to go home to get food. My dad also put my brother's games in his room and told the boyfriend not to go into anyone's bedroom he hasn't been invited into. My sister was pretty upset about all of this, especially the rule saying he has to leave by 7 p.m. My dad asked her if he's been sleeping over, and she swore up and down he wasn't. I don't think that's true, but it doesn't matter. My sister's boyfriend was pretty embarrassed and apologized to my dad, saying he didn't realize he was being a nuisance. My dad said it was fine and gave him a hug. I told him I was sorry I snapped at him, and we hugged it out too. So I think everyone is good, even though my sister is pissed at me and my dad. My dad said she will be better off in the long run, because if she wants to see her boyfriend outside those hours she'll have to leave her room. Not the asshole. It's okay that he's comfortable, but he's crossing the line when he doesn't give you the space you need around the kitchen and such. Now one thing to consider, since your sister is 17, I assume he's 17 as well. He's very immature still. Info. What are your parents' feelings about him being in the house so much? Not the asshole. There is an illness in the family, and everyone is stressed. Your sister's boyfriend should realize that this isn't the time to be visiting. He should invite your sister over to his house or at the very least, cut his visits down a bit so the family can decompress in private. Info. How is the boyfriend's home life? Are you guys like a safe space for him? Not the asshole. He's worn out his welcome. Your sister can go hang out at his house, if having him around is really that important. Am I the asshole for calling my friend brother, not a gay, after he was homophobic? Me, 28M, and my friends, Alex, 27F, Sarah, 28F, and Matt, 28M, went to grab few beers as we haven't seen Matt in few months. Sarah however brought her younger brother Kevin, 24M, with her as he is currently living with her. Kevin from the moment we ordered first beer tried to act all macho, talking about how many girls he slept with and how much money he will get once he launches his crypto. Kevin was trying, unsuccessful, to hit on Alex until she got annoyed and said, "You do realize I'm gay and most likely slept with more girls you've ever seen." Kevin got visibly red and keeps saying things like, "You are just saying that because you never had a good DCK," or, "Once you try real men you will change mind." Well, after few beers I just found it boring, and as I could see Alex getting annoyed, I started saying, "Don't get angry at him, he might be right. But what he is actually trying to say is that he might be gay but he needs a real men." Then I spent few minutes explaining that what he meant was in fact about him and that he needs a good DCK. Have to admit I went bit far but was too many beers in and too annoyed to care about that, and what I was saying kept people laughing. After a while Kevin just kept saying that he is not gay. Well, we just dropped topic. However, my drunk self kept adding, "Just remember, he is NOOOT gay," whenever Kevin was saying STH. Once we all went home I got text from Sarah stating I am an a-hole because I humiliated her lil bro and he don't wanna see us anymore, until I apologies. However I don't even know what I should apologize for. Alex is gay and Matt is bi. So I don't see calling someone gay as a STH offensive. Same as I wouldn't see calling someone straight bi. Would like outsider's perspective, especially now that I'm sober. I feel like I should actually apologize to Alex maybe? But she seems to be the one laughing the most. Sue, I really don't know. Am I the asshole? Edit. Small info. How others reacted. Matt was kinda ignoring subject and street conversation away from that. Alex joined me in joking saying stuff like, well gay men have actually very high standards Sue he won't find anyone willing to give him the D. Sarah was laughing at both Kevin and my comments. Update. I decided to do an adult thing and just texted everyone, beside Kevin. Don't have a way to contact him. Texted Sarah that Emma willing to apologize to Kevin if he apologized to Alex. She left me on read. Tried to say sorry to Matt if my remarks were inappropriate, but he cut me off and said that, if you are apologizing that means you think of gay as STH bad Sue don't you dare apologize. Well I took back my apology. Lastly called Alex. Well she called me an idiot for thinking she would be offended since she joined me in joking. However I am to, under no circumstances apologize to Kevin. Apparently Sarah also texted Alex, that she needed to apologize to her brother. And when Alex started laughing, Sarah said, well he just said out loud what we were thinking. Long story short. Looks like we are going to cut Sarah off. Not the asshole all you did was turn around what he was saying to Alex. Funny that Sarah didn't seem to have a problem when Alex was on the receiving end of Kevin's comments. She should be demanding her brother apologize to your friend. Not the asshole for turning things around on him, but you kind of are for pretending that calling someone something they aren't isn't insulting. You know you were trying to be insulting to put him in his place. Even so, he doesn't really deserve an apology unless he's willing to apologize for his own behavior first. Never apologize for putting a homophobe in his place. Not the asshole. Sometimes a person feels humiliated because that's exactly how they should feel. Social settings have rules, and he failed to understand that one of the rules in your circle is no one behaves like a walking trope of homophobic toxic masculinity. He's young and capable of learning. I do hope he spends more time with your circle. He clearly needs more exposure to secure, self-actualized men.